Hey guys, good morning. We just finished Everly's PT appointment. So yes, I got a couple questions what PT was. It's physical therapy. She's been in physical therapy for the last couple of months now, since we've been in quarantine. And she, she has been doing really well. Mostly is because she had not a whole lot of muscle tone to her. For whatever reason, her muscle tone has greatly increased. She's able to sit up completely by herself. She's not quite crawling yet, but she's able to get up into a position. She hasn't started rocking or anything. So she's just a little tiny bit delayed at this point. And now, like, seeing what the physical therapist expects from Everly, I'm realizing the big girls were delayed as well, just a little bit. Neither one of them started to crawl. Emmy was a toddler, so she was walking already, but Maddie and Autumn didn't start to crawl until like a little later into 8 months. They sat up just fine, and Maddie walked right before 13 months, so she was just a couple days shy of 13 months, and so did Autumn. So they weren't like crazy behind or anything like that, but just like some kids do it earlier. So that, anyway, when we did it, she qualified for services, so we've just been in ever since. And her physical therapist does say, like, well, I mean, she's doing fine. I'm not super worried about her. We're just going with the flow because she still qualifies for the services. And with early childhood intervention, it's very inexpensive. Very inexpensive. Even if you don't have insurance, it's very reasonably priced for out-of-pocket pay because it's based on income, and the income limits are super high and very low. For, like, for instance, I think if we didn't have insurance, no Lola, nice try. She's trying to go out into the garage. She almost made it. Did you hear? I barely caught her. Sneaky. The income limits are very low. Like, I think you can make up to, like, I don't know, 150,000 for like 12 bucks a session or a month, something like that. Very, very inexpensive. So if you're worried about getting you think like, oh, PT, that's expensive, like I don't have the money for that or whatever, get your child evaluated with ECI, and your pediatrician sends out the referral. It's very, very affordable. There's no reason not to do it, and it's good for them. Even if you're like, eventually they'll catch up. No, like, you don't want them to have to catch up if you can help it. So Maddie didn't have to be in any kind of therapy when she was little. Autumn was in speech therapy, and that helped her a lot. She still has some of the words she struggles with saying, but for the most part you can understand most of what she's saying. And I don't want Everly to have to be in speech therapy if we can help it. So her physical therapist helps with kind of all of it. And we recently just started trying baby sign language, which we did with the other girls. And so we're just doing basic signs like more, all done, please, thank you, milk, eat, like that kind of stuff. So yeah, anyway, I got a couple questions. That is what we're doing and how we're doing it. I'm looking rough today. This morning was kind of a late morning. I didn't roll out of bed until right before her therapy appointment. She's back there eating a frozen peach right now, and I am making some breakfast finally. What are you doing? What are you doing? Hi, Mama. Hi. You like that peach? So I just put the frozen peach in her little sucker thing, and she really, like, it keeps her entertained because she was screaming, and it's not quite like breakfast time. She already had her morning bottle, but it's not quite breakfast time. So anyway, I'm gonna make some eggs, and then I think a little later I'm going to do some freezer breakfast burritos for my mom. I haven't done any freezer meals for us because we've been home, so I pretty much just cook like whatever we have here for every meal. I have the time, let's say, but with school around the corner, I may start to do freezer meals. I don't know, but my mom is still working full-time, and she's been doing Weight Watchers. Her and Nen have been doing Weight Watchers, and they I mean, I think Nin's down like 20 something, 30 pounds, something like that. My mom is down like 45. She's doing a really great job, but she struggles with breakfast. And she made a comment the other day to me. She was like, yeah, I have been buying tacos from the taqueria, just an egg taco because it's cheaper than buying 3 scrambled eggs. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she said, well, 3 scrambled eggs is like $4 and some change. I'm like, Mom, I bought 5 dozen for like $5.12 a few weeks ago. That is insane. I mean, she doesn't struggle for money or anything, so that helps, you know, but still, I'm like, that is crazy for you to spend every morning $4 and some change on 3 scrambled eggs. So I'm going to make her some freezer breakfast burritos. I have these Mission Carb Balance. The larger ones are only 2 points on the blue plan. They're only 70 calories if you're counting calories. They do have 4 net carbs if you're doing macros, but 2 points, and this is a burrito size. Like the ones that I just heated up are only 1 point, but they're fajita size, so you can see the difference. They're significantly larger. So I'm going to make, I have about 8 of these, and I got this as a 2-pack, I think from Sam's. So I'm gonna make what I have here. I have a bunch of eggs, and I just pulled out some Canadian bacon, and I have turkey bacon, and I'm gonna make her some freezer burritos so she can actually have breakfast in the morning and not spend $4 on 3 scrambled eggs. It's just not happening. I told her, I said, Mom, that's not gonna fly. I don't care if oh, I thought you sneezed. I don't care if you have the money or not. Like, that's just a total waste of money. So at some point today, I'm gonna do that for her, but right now I'm gonna make myself some bacon and egg tacos. Okay, it's time to make the girls lunch. They actually just got done doing sheets, so each of them have like this. In fact, I have Autumn's right here. This is Autumn's. I got Autumn's from Amazon. The big girls I got from Costco, but they're just like the learning books. We start school next week, so all this week we're gonna be setting aside 45 minutes to an hour to actually sit down and do schoolwork, because I need them to focus next week, because they actually have like a legit regimented schedule, Zoom scheduling, when they're supposed to be doing different things, and I'm really gonna have to step up my game here. No more slacking. So I have them each do the amount of pages that their age is. So Autumn did like 6 or 7 of them because hers are a lot easier. Maddie does 6, Emmy does 10, and for Emmy especially, she's working on multiplication, doing her math, facts, stuff like that, because that's math. Her reading and grammar has never struggled, but math is something that she tends to lose over the summer, so that's what we're working on the most. Maddie, we've been focusing on reading because that's something that she's just learning. Like in kindergarten was when she first started to read, so that and her writing skills. This is only her 2nd year of school, but I don't want her to lose those over the summer, so we've been working on those. And Autumn, we've been doing writing the alphabet, tracing lines, trying to get a grip on her pencil, stuff like that. Writing her name, shapes, colors, things that she would normally learn in preschool or pre-K. So anyway, this is all the stuff, and we pull them out because that way when they're looking through the book, it doesn't get bogged down with stuff that they've already done. Pull them out, I look them over. Now we're doing lunch. So I have leftovers. I'm going to give them each the option. I have some spaghetti left over and then some food from last night, barbecue and stuff like that. And yeah, that's what we're doing. Everly is taking a nap. When she wakes up, she'll be ready to have lunch as well. Her Auntie Nin gives her all these toys. She finds something that her cats like, and she buys one for Lola, and she buys some for Chippy and Melissa's cats. It's like, I don't even know what it is, a sloth maybe? But it makes a crinkly sound.
That's a sloth.
Is it a sloth? I think she likes it. Say thanks, Nin.
Thanks.
Okay, got a few fun things from Amazon. I think that's something on my lens. Today in the mail, we got, so if you remember back when we had our glass table, which we actually still have it, it's in the garage, but when we had that, we had a pink silicone mat for Autumn specifically, so like it wouldn't slide. So I ordered silicone mats off of Amazon. However, they don't stick, which I should have known this. They don't stick on the wood like they did on the glass. Again, should have known this, but anyway, I ordered them anyway. And I mean, they stick, but not as well as they did. Just, they blend in with the table, and I mostly got them so that when the girls are eating, it's just a quick, easy cleanup. We'll see how they work. I don't know. They weren't very expensive. They were like 4-pack for $18, $19, something like that. So it wasn't too bad. I'll let you know if I love them. The ones that I wanted to get are expensive to buy 4 of them, and even with bigger kids, I mean, adults make messes sometimes, but even with bigger kids, it's nice to have something underneath it, and I wanted something that was not going to take away from my runner. So again, I'll let you know. Another thing that we got in the Amazon order today were some food buckets. So these are the Cambro brand, and they're 6 quarts, and they held my pasta because I got quite a few comments on my Sam's haul that I posted over the weekend. If you haven't gone to go check that out, go check it out. But I got quite a few comments saying to be careful about storing like pastas, cereals, things that aren't in like a sealed package. Like you could, anything that is just like in a box, or my potato flakes, that was another one, that weevils or mice and stuff like that, critters could get into them, and I would die if I went out there and all of a sudden a rat comes crawling out of my food storage. So I ended up getting these off of Amazon. They fit 6 boxes of pasta perfectly. So this was the elbow ones that I got. It was 6 pounds of elbow. The elbow has a little bit of room in it, I guess just because the pasta settles a little bit better. But 6 pounds from Sam's, and it was very inexpensive, like 4 something, right under $5 for the 6 pounds, which is a great deal. And pasta is something that's always nice to have on hand, because the expiration date of these was, I want to say 2023 or something crazy. It was like insane. So pasta is always something good to have on hand. And then I have another one full of penne, and again, this was from my Sam's haul. 6 pounds of penne, and it was, I think, $6, because it wasn't the Sam's brand, the Members Mark, it was the Barilla brand. So anyway, I feel out of breath. I picked these up. I probably could have gotten the food grade storage containers from Lowe's or Home Depot that I've been seeing. I watch a lot of mamas that have large families that do long-term food storage, like Our Tribe of Many, Big Large Family Table. She changed her name though, Homestead. J. Morrell, that's her name. I know you guys know who I'm talking about. She has like a farm and everything right now. She just did a few video series of the 5-gallon bucket food grade buckets for long-term food storage, and I'm not even trying to get into all of that. Yes, I have 4 children, but they're all, even though my oldest 2 eat like grown men sometimes, they're all still fairly little. I don't have like teenagers or boys, like teenage boys or anything like that. So buying 6 pounds of pasta at a time is plenty for us. I would, for right now, never buy more than 6 pounds of pasta. The other thing that I was thinking about buying, another one of these, and I wish I had bought a couple of more, but for rice and beans, because I also have, although they are in like plastic wraps out on my couponing shelf, but my rice and beans could have gone in here. Any excess, like I have big containers up in my pantry for flour and sugar and that kind of stuff, and I don't bake enough to buy like the 50-pound bag of sugar. The pastas and stuff is where we really needed it. So I'm very happy with these. They will go nicely. I was just scared, like when I was reading those comments, I'm like, oh no, I told on the dress, I was like, I'm ordering something for these, because I do not, my potatoes, I probably could get a few more, but I'm not going to even mess with any kind of critter trying to get into my food. So yeah, just thought I would share that with you guys. I'll have them linked in my Amazon box. I'm very, very, very excited about them. I know dinner looks a little weird now, but it was so good. Andres cut up.
The plate that I made.
Yeah, it was really good. Emmy's on seconds. But anyway, it was cube steak, chopped up really, really tiny. I had a bag of frozen baby potatoes that were already seasoned from, I got them on sale from HEB. They were just in the freezer. And I had some fresh green beans, threw some steak, Montreal steak seasoning. Oh my gosh, it was bomb. We never have steak bites. I'm not a huge fan of this kind of meat, like cube steak, but it was really good. Super good. And it was great for all of us because Andres just had the meat and the green beans and we had the potatoes. So dinner idea if you've never had it. It's currently raining.
I cannot see a slide.
I don't even know, like, this weather is super crazy. Look at this. Gotta move this. I've been trying, it's been raining so much. I've been trying to catch whatever rainwater I can because it's great for my basil plant. Come on, basil. I just trimmed her today. She's looking good. Oh my gosh, it's going even harder. I should put my other bucket for more water. Big girls are helping me make my mom's burritos.
How many though, Mom? I
have some of the Kirkland little bacon crumbles and some Canadian bacon. Emmy's cracking my eggs.
And then
Maddie's gonna cut up some mushrooms and tomatoes and spinaca.
You and me stuck on the ocean now. Nothing but waves and they're spilling in. I wanna dry up, but you just keep on going, don't you? I don't even know how we got here. All my reasoning have disappeared. I wanna bury the hatchet and find the way back to our home, our home, our home. We don't have to drift inside this dome. I will not let us fade away. It's not a price I wanna pay, and it's not too late. No, we lost our purpose, chasing all that surplus. You were all that I need. I feel that we can break free. We can still go back there to a place with no cares. We can turn this ship around. We can turn this ship around all the way back home. Chasing all that we do not have. Chasing all that we don't have. Chasing all that we do not have. We do not all the way back home. Chasing all that we do not have. Chasing all that we don't have. Chasing all that we do not have. We do not.
Okay, Mama's breakfast are done. These are the burritos. I got 8 of them. I only had 8 tortillas, but I had eggs left over. So these ended up being 6 points on the blue plan. I wrote her instructions down there so she can stick these in her freezer at work and have it. This is a little bit smaller of a meal because the size of the actual tortilla was a little harder to get as many eggs in. So I ended up having enough to make 3 breakfast meals or like breakfast bowls out of it. So I did the eggs, so you can't see it. That one's a little bit better. I did the eggs mixture with a little bit of cheese and I counted it. And then this is hash browns. And I did 3 cups. So it's about a cup. It's a little less than a cup per thing, which is not bad. So, and then I put the cheese on top of that as well. And she can put whatever condiments or, you know, whatever. Maddie thought it was rice and it kind of looks like mashed potatoes from up here, but it's shredded hash brown. So this will be when she wants a little bit heavier of a breakfast, and it's 8 points. So yeah, and that literally, for her to have 11 days worth of breakfast, I feel like it probably didn't cost more than maybe, if I really had to guess, maybe $10–12. I used 16 eggs, which for a dozen, for an 18 count, I guess, let's say, is under $2. The tortillas are like $3 for the 8 pack. So what did I just say? So 5 Then I use very minimal veggies. I used about 1/4 of a bag of hash browns, maybe even $10. Some of the cheese, like, it was very inexpensive to make this for her, so it'll save her a good amount of money. 2 weeks buying 3 eggs at $4 a pop. It's definitely worth it. That's $40 compared to 10. So hopefully she enjoys them. Andres tried a piece of the egg and he said it was really good. So there was my freezer meal prep for the day. Honestly, it makes me wish I could go back, not that I can't, but that I want to go back to freezer prepping, because this was so much fun to do. Just a little, not on as big of a scale as we normally do, but yeah. So anyway, now I'm gonna go feed my little baby and get these girls tucked in. I'm about to head to bed. It's actually before midnight. It's 11:43. I got the vlog up super early in relation to when I normally get it up. I think it was up right before 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is a record for me considering, unless I edit during the day, and sometimes I do that. I'll edit during the day and set it to go live at 10 p.m. That doesn't happen most days though. Probably like 30 out of 31 days does that happen. And so essentially that would mean on a month that has 30 days it doesn't happen. I want to get better at that, but it's just so hard to sit at the computer and focus on editing when all the girls are running around. It's hard. And they've been having opposite, first off, Autumn hasn't taken a nap, I feel like, in over a week. And they haven't been doing quiet time because we've just been trying to get the energy out of them. There's really nothing for them to do to deserve quiet time. You know, normally in the summer we're doing stuff in the morning or whatever, and they're taking a break. We're literally doing nothing all day, every day, most days, which is exactly why I've got them into various things. They think it is so fun to help me do anything, really. Just like when I'm baking or I'm cooking, any little thing they can do, even if it's stirring the food in the pot, cracking the eggs, Maddie, I taught her today. No, she learned, Emmy kind of showed her. I had her use a butter knife to cut green beans sometimes for some meal last week. I don't even remember what it was. Oh, for the lettuce wraps. I think it was the night that my mom was here. So she used a butter knife for that. And at the very end, I briefly taught her how to use a regular knife. And Emmy learned around this age too. She actually learned in Girl Scouts. The first year we went camping with Girl Scouts, I think she was a Daisy. I'm pretty sure she was a Daisy in first grade. I freaked out because the whole point of Girl Scouts is for them to be independent. They learn new skills, all this stuff. And they were cutting up, I think it was fruit for dinner that night. And when we're camping, part of the rules, which I know now as a troop leader, but I didn't know then as just like a parent, part of the rules is they have to cook all of the meals. That is like cleaning, food prep, cooking, cleanup, all that kind of stuff, right? And they rotated every night. So not every girl had to do the same thing every night. They all had a chance to do all of them. And I remember their old troop leader, she was like, it's gonna be okay, she's gonna cut the fruit. And I'm like, she doesn't know how to use a knife. She's never used a knife before. It's always been a butter knife. Like, she doesn't know how to use a regular knife. And I was like internally panicking. And I'm the troop first aid person, so all I kept thinking was, please don't chop off your finger, please don't chop off your finger. And then my mind would go to, okay, if she did happen to chop off part of it, what was the first thing I would do? That is not something you want to envision about anybody, but especially about your child. So it was traumatizing for me, but she did great. And now she's very efficient, proficient, I should say, with a knife. I don't 100% trust her with the large chef knife just because she doesn't have as much experience with it. But when she asks to cut a piece of fruit or to cut something for a meal, I 100% believe she's just as capable with using a regular knife as I am. She gets a regular knife when we cut up meats and stuff at dinner. I don't cut up her food anymore. She's not a baby. She's almost 11 years old. So that was a really hard pill for me to swallow. I think it's with your first kid, it's really hard to know when they're ready to do certain things. And I know it's different for every kid, because every kid's personality and maturity level is completely different. Something that was fine for Emmy may not be fine for Maddie at the exact same age, or Autumn or Everly or whatever. And something that Maddie can do a little younger, I maybe had Emmy wait for whatever reason. So I know this, and I know them well enough. And Maddie's actually 6 months ago, I wouldn't have, I hate to even say this, but I wouldn't have probably even given her any of the responsibilities that she has now. But she has matured and stepped up a lot during this quarantine, and I'm very proud of her. I've always been super proud of Emmy. She's always taken pretty much anything that's been handed to her like well, and she's been able to master, and there's very few things that she's not able to do or not good at. And that's just her. That's just her personality, you know. And for Maddie, she's always been more on the gentle side, more like go with the flow, not as like wanting to be in the leadership position. She's really, that's just her personality. She's a gentle soul. I always call her my hippie child, because she's just like, I could totally see her lying out with the sunflowers. And I really don't want to say anything else that people did in the 70s, but you know what I'm saying. Like, she's just that kind of child. Like, she loves to love people, and she's just a kind-hearted little girl. So because of that, her personality is a lot more docile. So I'm always very weary of, you guys don't like when I use those words interchangeably, leery and weary, but they essentially mean the same thing. I'm always worried about when she takes on new tasks, how she's going to be able to handle them. And to my surprise, she has done an exceptional job with so many things that she's learned during this quarantine. It's honestly been a huge blessing in disguise, because she has grown a lot. I'm very, very proud of her. So one new thing that she learned was how to use a regular knife tonight. Oy, it was nerve-wracking, but she was definitely not, in my mind, I was thinking she's gonna be like, la la la, there's a knife in my hand, I'm not worried about it. And she was extremely careful. She focused on what she wanted, what she was doing. She placed it down the right way. She followed direction when I told her how important it was. You know, she looked at the knife before she picked it up, because I made sure she understood there's a sharp side and a dull side, you know, whatever, stuff like that. So I'm really, really proud of her. So she learned a new technique today, and she's picking up on things very, very quickly, and I'm very happy about that. The quicker I can make my children as independent as they can be for their age group, the better. I have 4 of them. I cannot be everywhere at once. I rely on them to be able to do some stuff on their own by themselves without any direction from me. And although this isn't something that I would allow her to do on her own just yet, it's the beginning stages to it. So anyway, that was that. They were so excited to help Maddie cut up the vegetables. This is what they decided, and which makes it, I always ask, who wants to do this, who wants to do that? And my life is 30 times easier when each of them want to do something separate, and we're not like picking who gets to do what based on what number is in my mind type of thing. Because if they had both said, for instance tonight when we were making my mom's burritos, I said, who wants to crack, who wants to cut veggies? Emmy said, I want to crack eggs. Maddie said, oh good, I want to cut veggies. If both of them had said crack eggs, I would have thought of a number in my head and said, you tell me a number from 1 to 10, you tell me a number from 1 to 10, and whoever got closer, that's who would have got to do it, and the other would have just had to suck it up. And too bad, so sad, you can do it next time type of thing. That's how we run things in this house, because I do not have time nor the patience to sit here and worry about all things being fair all the time. So it ended up working out well. Autumn could have cared less. Hold on, let me think about this, because I always say it wrong. She could not have cared less. Could not have cared less that we were cooking. She was in the room, or in the living room, watching Bluey with Everly, and was totally fine. So they helped me with that, and then once they were in the pan, they stirred it a little bit and they were done. They were fine. They went upstairs. Nin gave them some Bluetooth speakers. I think I talked about it earlier. And they put, Andres helped them connect them to their iPods, and they were listening to music up in their room. Isn't that crazy that this is the day and age that we're in, listening to music in their room? That's something that they enjoy doing. It's so crazy to me. I can't even imagine my life in the next like 5 years. I just can't even imagine it. But anyway, that was that. I edited the vlog. It was up. Everyone went to bed. Tonight we started implementing, I know this is a long like chit chat end of the vlog, but tonight we started implementing going to bed earlier at regular bedtimes. So Maddie was in bed by 8. Emmy was in bed by 8:30, and Everly went to bed. She's not on clearly like you have to be in bed by 8, Everly, or you get no bottles. But we do try and have her in bed by 8 if we can help it. Today, I think she ended up going down about 8:15, and because her and Autumn are sharing a room, Autumn's bedtime is kind of contingent on when Everly goes to bed. So Autumn was up a little bit later even than the big girls. I think we finally put her down about 8:45. I really would like her to be in bed by 8. So I really would like Everly, Autumn, and Maddie in bed by 8 and Emmy in bed by 8:30, because they start school next week. And even though we're not physically having to get up at 6:30, which is what time they would normally get up during the school year, to be able to get up, get ready for the day, have breakfast, and we have to drive them to school. Even though we're distance learning, I still would like them to be able to get a full night's rest, because I do not want to deal with, they have Zoom calls for attendance check-ins very early in the morning, and they're both at 8 a.m. Actually, Maddie's is at 8 a.m., Emmy's is at 8:15. I don't want to be bothered with attitudes in the morning. I don't want to get up, I don't want to get dressed, I don't want to brush my teeth, I don't want to do my hair. We're not doing that. We don't play that in this house. You get up, you do what you got to do, and you move on. So the best way that I have found that happens is to make sure that they get enough rest. So even though most days they're up by that time, they're not always ready by 8 a.m. and they have to be in full uniform, hair appropriate. Like, they still have to follow dress code during their Zoom meetings, and their Zoom meetings are throughout the morning. So they each have one in the morning for like attendance purposes. They go over their schedule, they go over the work and the homework for the day. And then this is like what I'm thinking based on what the teachers have given us already. And then they have like work that they have to do. And I think one of them has a Zoom, another Zoom with the teacher at like 9 something. And then another one has one at 10 something. And then they have more work and just various things to do throughout the day. It's going to be a lot of pressure on just me to make sure everyone gets everything done when they're supposed to. Plus, make sure Autumn has everything she needs, and also make sure Everly gets fed and stays alive. You know, like, it's gonna be a lot of pressure on me. I really just truly don't know how homeschooling mamas do it, or those of you that are working full-time and still have to figure out how to homeschool your kid, like, or distance learn, sorry. It's bringing me stress just thinking about it. So I truly don't know how everyone else is doing it, considering I've been blessed enough to be able to stay home while this is all happening. So we are starting today. We have a week until school, and if it were a normal school year, it feels so weird because it's not a normal school year, but if it were a normal school year, we usually start about a week in advance getting on routines. We start setting alarms. You get up in the morning, and that's just, it is what it is. It helps their mind be a little bit more. Baby, are you at the stairs? Baby? You're at the stairs? Yeah. You can come in. It helps their mind be a little bit more clear and just be able to stay focused, especially since we have to learn so early in the morning. And then the afternoon they can have fun. They can play. We can do whatever we want, but we have business to do in the morning. So anyway, this has been a long ramble. I hope you guys enjoyed today's vlog, and we'll see you tomorrow.